everybody. Welcome back to the Urban Hermit podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host, whoever wants it.
I wanted to switch it up, Jordan.
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
Perfect. In recent news, Mark, you have a cat.
A kitten.
You have a kitten,
Ooh.
which is even
Kitten.
harder to take care of. How's it been? How many days has it been?
A week yesterday.
You don't have to share, but do we have a name?
Yeah, Nova. Beep. We named it Nova.
Man, Adolf Hitler's a weird name for a cat, but if that's what you wanted to do.
For any reason in particular, or just found it on a website? How'd you come to it?
We had like a slate of like 30 names that we went through, as you do, and that one just kind of like, I don't know, it was cute and kind of stuck on that one.
Now, I
Yes.
kind of pride myself on you getting this cat because you were a dog person before this, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, 100%. And then we were living together, and you adopted one cat, Finster, and loved him. Then Jackson. So I'm like, oh, cats are not that bad. They're so easy too.
They're
You just kind of like
very easy.
you set it and forget it. It's like a
They're-
crock pot.
The only problem
It is a crock pot of pets.
The only problem you can
crock pot
have
of pets.
also with the crock pots, you might get a smell if they start peeing. That's a
You
problem.
might get a smell. You might burn the.
You might burn the house
broth.
down.
Or if
Yeah.
they scratch, if they're scratchers, you keeping the nails. What are you doing on all the upkeep? You getting it spayed and neutered?
We might be too late to declaw at this point. I don't know. Now it seems a little inhumane.
Okay.
I don't know how old they are, but I would say maybe.
They're like 11 weeks. I'm worried about the couch, I guess.
Yeah, that's
with the
what
claws.
you're gonna have to get some scratch pads. You're gonna have to get
Yeah.
something in there for it.
Yeah.
For anybody that says, "Oh, I'm not a cat person," it's because you haven't had cats. They're so
You're
chill.
either A, or allergic, or you've never had a cat.
I
They're
would say that the
really
amount of people allergic
kinda
to
fun.
cat are the same amount of people allergic to gluten. Are you really, or do you just not want it? Are you really allergic to bread, or are you just trying to keep yourself away from bread? All I'm saying is, that's it.
I get
You
some
don't
people,
like bread, you don't like cats, that's fine.
Oh, I love bread. I get some people's argument where, like, if you don't know the cat and it's not your friend, I mean, cats are selective. It's not going to come up to you like a dog. It has to like you, you know? So
That was the biggest thing I learned with when you got the first cat, was sort of like, it's on their time, and none of it's on my
Oh,
time.
no.
You can't go up and pick it up. Like, they'll come up to you when they want to.
No, but much like the Goonies, down here it's our time when you're together. When you guys join it, then you're a little team. And when you're not, you know what you don't have to do? Go outside, walk them. Go outside, do anything. You're good.
I'm a little bit worried on like the 15, 20-year lease I just signed, but
Mark had the
It's
same
fine.
thought I did when I got my first cat. I was like, this thing might be alive when I'm 40.
55 years, yeah, like, what the
This thing might actually last a
Well, I don't have a cat, and I'm super excited that I have a kid, but I did look at him the other day, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be with you every fucking day for a while. I do love him, but like, I'm
You're
pretty
gonna cost me
sorry.
a fuck ton of money.
Time.
Sorry.
You can never get it back.
In Luca dog news, it's cold again here in the Chicago suburbs, and we got him his first pair of boots. He hasn't figured it out yet, so he's still doing that scuba diving walk thing where he's just like picking
He's
up
doing
his
the
feet.
Bambi.
Yeah. So he looks pretty awkward. He won't really. He'll go outside and he'll just stand there until he can come back in if he has the boots on. So he has a jacket coming tomorrow, hoping he can figure it out because he hasn't really been on any walks.
Was there an instance where you noticed that on a walk that his hooves were cold?
Well, we haven't been going on walks because it has been cold. We've just been letting him go outside and play for a second. But that first day, it got
So you just wanted to put boots on him to just watch him walk like an
no.
idiot.
Well, that's part of the fun. But no, that first day it got like -30 with the wind chill. He went outside. Well, he tried to go outside like 10 times, couldn't make it down the steps, and just turned around. Then finally, when he went out to the snow to pee, he just laid down to die and gave up, and Nicole had to go get him.
My God.
So we were like, maybe we should get him some layers. If
What'd
he's-
that look like? Was it on his side? Was it like
No, just straight down.
stay-
Like he walked out to the middle of the snow and then just plopped down on his legs and just like laid down and then just wouldn't get up when we were
This is
calling him.
it? The end is now?
Yeah, like it wasn't long. It was only like, like 10, 15 seconds. We were like, Luke.
Kevin Costner accepted. It's like, this is it?
Jordan's doing his classic Dances with Wolves, arms back,
no.
riding a horse through gunfire. The Kevin Costner.
That's what Luca did. Here's a question. Is this inhumane? You got boots.
Yeah.
What's stopping us from just someday getting some tap shoes for that dog? See what we got.
Oh, well, I think the biggest problem is going to be train. You're just going to hear a lot of like just like tapping all the time when
Well,
it's
once
walking.
they figure it out, they're going to be better than us.
Yeah.
Riverdance. We've only got 2 legs.
That's true,
got
they have
4
many
They've got all 4. They can do all kinds
different
of things.
rhythmic patterns.
Although I will say this, I was trying to get Luca used to the idea of walking in him, and he sounds like a horse because, like, I'll get him to trot in the house after me, just jogging back and forth, and he's just
Clumps around.
Yeah, it looks like a show horse when they're doing their little dance trot.
Little canter.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Have Luca and Finster and Jax, have they cross-pollinated, or do they kind of live separate lives still?
They're fine with each other. Here's where the big turning point went. I let the cats go outside every time Luca goes outside now, so they hate him less for having more privileges than him. That changed like 3 weeks ago, 4 maybe a month ago, and now they're cooler with each other.
Outside.
When Luca goes to the bathroom, I keep the door open. I let the cats go out too. They go out to the backyard.
When
You
I
just don't trust them to like be able to climb over the fence, or what? I mean, what kind of?
I trust.
That seems like a lot of freedom for a cat.
I know, and I started slow.
Indoor cat.
I trust Finster, the first cat I got. He just stays around the steps and rolls around and sniffs the air. He's fine there. Jax, the second cat we got, I don't let him out at night, and I have to keep eyes on him. He will bolt.
Well, he's jet black too.
He's hard to
You
keep
never
eyes on.
Find him
Yeah.
in the dark.
But this is kind of funny. My dog's been acting.
have they
as
gone
like
out in the snow?
Yeah,
the cats.
Yeah. They don't like it. They stay on the steps.
Of course.
But
You got to get them booties.
this is like cat socks. This is kind of funny though. My dog's been working like a sheep herder, where like if my cat tries to run past the yard, it'll like stop him and like herd him back towards the door. So that's nice of him.
It'd be funny if you could like train. Who is it? Finster doing that?
Jax. Jax is not to be trusted. He's
Have
too
you seen,
wild.
Like, on TikTok, they like there's like a couple of accounts of like actual like sheep dogs, and they're trained so well they can like go like all these like.
You know
little-
what? You know what I'm a big fan of that
demands.
I don't get? I like cross-species friendship.
Oh, I love
You're like,
those.
oh, look, this horse is really good friends with this duck, and they just fucking like to chill.
Yeah, but those are also usually sad. Where like they're both at an animal hospital and they have no one else, and they became friends in this
the
field.
duck has leukemia.
Yeah, they're always
They're each other's what do you call it when you fly with an animal?
companion, the
Support?
or
Yeah, they're each other's both support animals.
Hospice care.
I do want to say this. As much as I love animals, what you feel towards a horse and all the emotion you're putting into it, it's not getting reciprocated. You're just petting a horse too intimately.
Those are empty eyes, aren't they?
Yeah. Like the horse doesn't I don't think mean ill will. It's just not feeling it.
It wants that rotten apple in your hand.
Yeah, it just wants the sugar cubes.
I've only really been horse riding once, and I will say, me petting it was more of a please don't bug me up. Please.
Don't
I was
bug me up.
quickly trying
me
to
up.
build trust because it had lots of people riding it a day.
Well, also like you might be a pony. I'm sorry that my 200-pound body is
Sure.
on your back.
No, I had a big one. They made sure they sized up a big one with me. Yeah, I was a little worried about that because
There are some
pull out the big ones.
fun.
there
facts,
are some things
first
in
ho-
a vacuum I want to do,
Uh-huh.
but it's just to look cool about. Riding a horse is one, and I'm not going to look cool. Riding a motorcycle is the other. I'm just not going to look cool doing it, nor can I.
You don't know that. I have some pictures of me on the horse, and they look cooler than it felt on the horse, though.
Well, Jordan, because of both of those, you're just riding side saddle. You got to put both legs over, and you got to.
I think that's the whole reason why mopeds aren't as sexy, because you're not straddling anything. You're just kind of sitting up top,
Yeah, you're
I
perched.
agree with that, but I'll actually say bullshit, Mark. Doesn't side saddle seem scarier? Like I could just slip off so easy.
Yes, as like a,
Yeah, side
doesn't it
saddle
talk about that
seems
in
so
like,
much worse.
Titanic.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to ride like a cowboy.
Oh, you mean safely with your foot in the stirrups? Yeah, me too. That seems
Like,
way
how do
better.
you even ride side saddle? That's a great point, Cameron.
Just balance.
Great
It's
point.
Great balance is what it is. Dresses were bigger. They had more cushion.
I interrupted you though. You were making a point about something about horses.
Oh, we'll never know. It's gone now. I would like to do
Yeah,
it again.
I'm going to
someday,
listen
but-
back to this and be like, God,
Oh,
Cameron's
yeah,
got
actually,
close moment.
face.
I said,
like
funny
whatever.
enough, though, my first horse ride was a pony ride. It was at 5th grade camp in the rain, and they were worried I was too big for it.
Yeesh.
So I was
Yeesh, kid.
didn't want to do it, but I signed up late for all the camp activities and pony rides. That's what I got.
6'3", 210, 8th grade Cameron riding on a
210.
Shetland pony.
More like
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was rail
I'm
thin.
exaggerating.
I was dangerously thin.
You're tall though. That's
know,
I
really
was flipping through the channels and I saw college wrestling was on the Big Ten Network, right?
Sure.
And there was 2 wrestlers, and they were in college, so they're somewhere between 18 and 24. They were both 125 pounds. I'm like, Jesus.
COVID year, maybe even 25.
Yeah, they could be 32. But
Stetson Bennett.
they only weighed 125 pounds. I'm like, that is crazy.
That's frail.
That's so small. I weighed 120 pounds like 5th grade.
Did you have a lot
I
of
was
people
chubby, but
in high school crazy trying to cut weight? I remember a few people taking it too far in high school, but like
yeah, big time. Like every wrestler.
I didn't have a lot of wrestling
Fasting,
friends.
Sweatpant and sweatshirt workouts. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know a few kids in
that's
high
the
school
culture,
that like
though.
just
That
I
is
mean,
the culture.
believe
I
me, it was-
heard that recently. We're no wrestling expert. That they've kind of adjusted the weight classes to try to get people not to do that. Like you can't be below a certain body fat percentage because it's a fucking problem.
That's
that
actually
makes
probably
sense.
smart.
Yeah, that makes. But they should have done that.
It
forever
seems
ago.
like 70 years too late.
Watching like whatever. I'm not going to name any names, but just like this kid falling asleep in class just because he's literally like
wasting
Mound-
himself.
he didn't eat like for
Yeah.
2 days. Oh my god.
I will
That's a good
say,
idea.
as someone that lost weight for their wedding, that's the easiest way to lose weight. Just not eat a lot.
Yeah.
Portion control.
It works.
That's the way to do it. Diet is important.
I would assume that if you just recorded a practice of any sport, wrestlers would have to have the best montage in movie form, even better than boxers, because all they're doing is working out. They're just even more.
Remember
You
the
don't get a
Titans
left
football?
side, strong side.
Yeah,
in
I
football.
disagree.
Yeah.
Well, wrestling
Cameron with
montage
Cameron.
is a lot of rolling around, and it's like looks the same to me. Whereas I can get some big hits in football. Boxing, we're running,
There's
we're hitting, we're
anguish
jump
on
roping.
Well, they jump rope, they run, they do anguish on the face. Okay, maybe it's boxing. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
Maybe what's the worst? Maybe track. And
Cross country.
yeah, that's pretty boring.
Cross.
Just it's got to be that, right?
Golf,
Curling
is
might
still
even be
not
fun,
to watch
actually.
to me. I mean, I do like golfing, but it's hard for me to get into watching it.
Yeah,
Hockey could be a cool montage.
Oh,
That's
we
true.
know it is.
Miracle. Yeah, great movie. I'm trying to
Yeah.
Mighty
And
Ducks.
even Mighty Ducks.
yeah, Mighty Ducks. Yeah, great.
Because their conditioning is fun because you got the skating.
Why
you know?
aren't there more hockey movies? There really aren't many. Mighty Ducks and Miracle. Give me another.
I mean, Slapshot's a big one. Goon.
They're just
I think it's just not as big as a sport. It's not a mainstream
it's gotten
sport.
bigger all over the years. Or at
Yeah,
least-
yeah,
Or
but,
maybe
you know.
I just cared because of the Blackhawks and location. It might be that.
Yeah,
So
you just moved to a place where the city cares about it.
That's probably true.
I got a question. I'm going to flip the script. I was
Sure.
talking about this with Megan, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is one of the best months to have a birthday? And on the flip side,
Ooh, I like this.
what's one of the worst months to have a birthday?
Worst is easily December, Christmas.
Okay, sorry. Everybody can take out December. Take that out.
Okay.
An American.
Hold on,
Outside of
wait.
that,
Is that the definitive worst? I was going to say something else.
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah,
well
go.
then I'm curious because the feedback we've gotten is December being so close to and or around Christmas sucks.
You say so you get all the eggs are in one basket kind of thing? Like,
Yeah, that's the main thing we've heard. the
Any
feedback.
birthday
I know a
around
couple
any
people-
holiday just has to suck a bit.
I actually know a family friend whose birthday is December 25th.
We have an
Ooh,
uncle
that's
that's 25th. 25th has got to be the worst
That's,
birthday.
that's tough.
So I guess just because of proximity, I
Mhm.
guess you're right. I can agree on December being the worst month. Yep,
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Okay, so outside of that, what do you guys got?
Okay, I'll say this. I have a summer birthday, and I did prefer
Let's go worst first.
not being in school and stuff. I mean, worst winter months, like just as far as just.
Do you think it's the bookends of December, January, November?
I'd actually maybe say like January, February,
Yeah,
March, kind of right in
knowing
that stretch.
my birthday is Feb blank, and it's
Chris,
not,
you and my wife.
it's not
How
fun.
do you feel about the February birthday?
I don't love it. I never got to do like an outside like
Exactly.
bonfire thing. I had to go like inside. I had to go bowling.
That's
for my
it.
Birthday.
Oh,
I had
I'm
to go
so
bowling.
glad you brought that up because I'm like February right now. It's so cold. She's like, you could do so many inside activities. I'm like, what?
I'm 30 some years old. I had to go maybe. I went bowling 20 times on my birthday.
Exactly. Yeah. Megan's like, it's so easy to plan for. I'm like, if you want to bowl. Now,
And
we're all-
sometimes you don't even get a lane because you're coming in with like 14 kids.
That's true.
'Cause
You gotta,
yeah,
you gotta split
exactly.
it up. Who's going to be on my lane? Things
now,
get tricky.
we are talking from
Things
the
get tricky.
Midwest. We're talking from the Midwest weather, right? So I
Yep.
imagine that when you live in a place that's nice all the time, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
So your birthday's great whenever. Shut up. I'm sure you've got
Ooh,
rainy
imagine
seasons.
like a California Feb birthday.
Be
We're
great.
going golfing, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
do whatever the
What are
hell
we
you
doing?
want.
Oh, did I tell you that the golf course next to me is open all year round, and they're off like. I saw people last week when there wasn't
this
snow
is
on the
actually
ground
an interesting thing,
in
yeah.
winter jackets golfing, and they have reduced prices. Mark and I are going to go winter golfing as soon as the snow melts enough again.
But they'll let people go hit balls and do what they want right
There
now?
are people like as long as there's not snow on the ground, I'm pretty sure they just let people play at reduced prices.
Jesus.
And I've also-
And it would
How
have to be for
reduced?
free because
Yeah.
everything's a hazard, a snow hazard.
Well, no, when the snow's
not in
off
a
the ground,
bunker,
like this
you're
was
in
like
a
a couple
snunker.
weeks ago, like in between when it was like still very cold, but like not.
Here'd be what would be so great about golfing in these conditions.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody who like their ball gets away from them, it would be great to just stop where it lands and be like, okay, it's right there.
It's not going to bounce out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's gonna plug like right
Yeah.
next to OB. Yeah, got
It's
it.
right fucking there. That's
And
the
also,
only benefit.
the white snow, like
Oh, you're done.
me dropping a ball like out of my pocket. Like, yeah, I found it.
I found it. Here it is.
Found it. It's in. It's in. When it's lodged into like the neighbor's yard.
I'm curious though to try a colder golf experience bundled up.
I'm not an avid golfer, but I like a little crisp fall golf.
Yeah.
A little less busy, as long as there's not too many leaves to just make it impossible to find your ball.
I would say
don't
I'd
mind
prefer
fall
that than like a hot summer day. I'm worried about sunburn. I'm sweating.
My cutoff, and I think a lot of courses cutoff is like usually like 50 degrees. If it's under that,
It's just too cold.
it's just too cold.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the temperature, but that 50 is really fucking
I'm pretty
cold.
sure the website on the place next to me even said
For golf.
we've noticed that we can make a lot of money if we just let you come here. So we've offered.
We'll take your dipshit's money.
Yeah, so we've
No,
offered
that's-
prices.
The fact that we're talking about it, yeah, we're going winter golfing.
But like,
I want to go night golfing with like a glow in the dark ball.
I've
I've never done that. I do want to do that too.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I have VR now.
I
and
was
I've
out.
been golf
I was out
simulating.
somewhere that was like a par, like a 9-hole par 3, and they did night golf. I'm like, oh damn, I want to do that, but it just like didn't work out. I think it was in Denver one time when I was there.
Well, if we wait for the snow to melt and it gets around 30 degrees, let's go winter golfing in my house.
As less than an avid golfer, nothing's harder than a par 3 because it makes me realize I don't know what to do.
Oh, par 3 is harder than like a par 4 or 5 for sure.
It's
'Cause
the hardest
your
thing in
first
the
shot
world.
has to be
Yeah.
on.
And you know what? It's
not.
It's not.
a
It's
place
not
called-
on.
I went to a place called 5 Iron Golf, and it's like a simulator place. You can, it's like Top Golf, a little nicer, but you
yeah.
can like you can pull up whatever golf course you want, Pebble Beach, Augusta, probably.
Oh,
not
that's
Augusta.
cool. Yeah, anywhere but Augusta. You got to join. You got to be.
But I
invited
wonder
there.
how those places survive in the summer
When there's actual golfing.
when there's actual golf going on.
Yeah, but you still get a golf anywhere. It's a different experience. It's like indoor skydiving things still get business. You know what I mean? Similar but different.
My guess is it's this. One, you get the trickle down people that golf enough. If it's raining, it's like I still want to swing today. I'll go there. Two, did you have some beverages?
I had a beverage or two.
There you go. You know, people want to
They're
sit
making
somewhere
money.
and drink somewhere.
Chris bought a VR headset, and we were doing the golf game on that. It's actually very accurate to my swing, which is bad and pulls to the right. We are gonna, I think, get an adapt. The only shitty thing is it's like the regular controller, so like I'm just holding it, super awkward. But they sell like golf club like accessories to attach onto it, and I really want one because I think I could actually improve my golf game on this like simulator.
You probably could.
Because my shot's terrible. My form's bad. I still try to power hit instead of just having good form.
So now that I moved back to Iowa and I had a kid, I'm sure we brought this up. Golf seems to be one avenue of a hobby to get away from your family that you can do.
Sure.
I don't know why it's acceptable, but society has been like, if you want to golf, you can leave your family all day. If you want to hunt, if you want to fish, you can leave your family all day. I don't know
Jordan,
why.
that's providing from your family. That's why.
I'm providing those birdies.
I don't think I can provide that. I can provide you one good swing
Double
all
bogey,
day.
double burger.
That'd be great. Double bogey. That means I played my whole ball all the way through. And I putted it in. That's not bad. That'd be great.
Didn't lie about the OB.
That would not be bad.
You guys want to hear a terrifying stuck at sea story?
Oh, my month. I have in late November
Yeah, go back to
around Thanksgiving
birthdays,
birthday. I think September, October, 2 best months in the Midwest.
Fall in general. I'm in August, so I'm like right before that fall thing. So like August, September, October, November, perfect.
Jordan, you guys are getting clouded by weather.
Oh, weather's a big factor. I fully admit
I know
it.
it is, but I think best birthday month
Summer.
might be like
July.
June or July, like right at, like let's say you're in like high school, like you get out of school, you like or college, you get out of class, like June or July.
I think there's 2 factors. I think there's childhood birthdays, and then there's adult birthdays. Adult birthdays, summer is hand down the best birthday. Once you're an adult, because that's when people want to do shit. So if you have a summer birthday as an adult, that's like a weekend. It's like a Friday birthday. All fucking, it's great. But as a kid, I think
During
the
school,
summer kind of.
because I never got to have the birthday party
Wait,
at
what'd you
school.
say? As a kid, winter birthdays play more.
I think as a kid, just anything in the school year plays more because people are like,
There.
you can get a
Sure.
hold of your friends.
Yeah, I like
PlayStation inside.
Yeah, and then you're good.
Inside Baseball. PlayStation was a playground place.
If somebody wants to let us know, this is more decisive of a conversation than I thought would happen. But
Honestly, I'd love my birthday month. I love August. Love it.
there you go.
Wouldn't change it for the
But
world.
you got it right before the school year, right?
August 2nd. Yeah, so I still have a couple weeks. It's still warm.
End of summer.
yeah, it's
bash.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I love it.
Yeah,
But to play
great.
devil's advocate, like when it was your birthday, if you wanted to celebrate like near or on the day, lots of people were on vacation around there.
That's true.
Like
but
friends,
I
so
made
that's a
but
negative.
hey, I persevered and I still wasn't in school, and that's what mattered to me.
That's true.
I year after year went to my Danish cult camp.
Sure did.
Around the first week of August. So I don't know if I've ever experienced a Cameron Jones.
You experienced
birthday.
like mid-late 20s when like the magic was gone, and it's like, what are we doing? Out to eat, a movie, and having some beers. Like we weren't like really.
That's perfect birthday for me.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
all
sorry.
I want to
I'm
do.
sorry I never went to the PlayStation with you, man.
You should be. Yep, you should be.
We got Chuck E. Cheese so much, man.
Hey,
I wish.
but on the flip side, Mark, because your birthday was in February, Cameron went bowling with you as a kid.
That's true. I was at your birthday
all,
parties.
all 18 years of your life.
Yeah, and I rolled like a 96, and he rolled like a 180. And I was like,
Oh,
fucking
you
pissed
know
bowl.
that's wrong. I'm the worst bowler out of the three of us.
Actually, that may be accurate. Mark's probably the best.
Mark's
is
probably the
my
best.
guess.
Bar sports.
Oh,
I'm just
that's
bad
something
at bar
I could get
sports.
into. I could get into bowling. I'd have to like hang. I'd have to get more friends or just join solo in a league. I could get into a bowling league.
I wouldn't mind, but that's just like a golf thing. Again, like for some reason, I'm just really bad. I want to be better. I need practice.
I'm not showing up to like a local bowling league or like whatever without a shirt, like without cool shirt.
You need a
I
shirt.
would prefer a shirt. I
What's your
really
bowling name? I've always thought about this. This is what I would do. It just is.
would. What?
We're the alley cats.
Alley Cats.
You
right.
got to know that's
all I want.
taken by somebody.
You got to
there.
know.
Sure.
Yeah, actually,
You can't.
Cameron's
You're not
right.
going to be the
That's
first
taken.
alley cats.
I'm going to a work bowling thing, and I'm part of team the Bowling Stones. So take that if you will.
Okay.
See, now we're getting to like the aristocrat. The like.
I don't know what mine would be. I want it to be funny. I want it to be like a license plate joke. You know, I want maybe a
Hold on, I'm gonna
little
look something up.
little risque, maybe.
Best bowling team. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Well, these are kind of Kingpins,
Okay.
Lucky Strike, Holy Rollers,
Got to be a
Phantom
church.
Strikers. Yeah,
You could be the White Russians, but you'd all have to be white and Russian.
okay, these seem serious. Like, you've seen that guy who's like, "Who do you think you are? I am." He bowls like a perfect.
I think he's one of the best bowlers of all time, but it just doesn't
I know.
matter anymore. Your whole career, your highlight is a joke.
I was listening to Joe
like-
Rogan
it's-
the other day. I wish I
He
was,
was
better
so
at
close
pool.
to nailing that line.
I'm just not. Yeah. I'm just not confident at pool at all. How do you guys shoot? Are you the fingers through? Or are you the thumb? How do you hold it? I've switched over the years depending on who's.
I'm the thumb.
I've gone back and
You
forth
can't
depending
do-
on who I'm
You
playing
can't do
with
finger through.
and if they're giving me shit for it. See, I think I used
have
to be
a
a
weird-
finger through. I think you gave me shit for it. I'm like,
that's
thumb.
good.
I think
That's a good point, Cameron.
I'll change to whatever the table's mocking me for.
Cameron, table by table.
I haven't played enough pool to be confident, so I'll do it. But it's not fun for me or the person I'm playing with.
When we were real young, we had like a shitty like quarter size table that was like one of those. It's a pool table. It's an air hockey table. It's a ping pong table.
Oh, I got one of those for Christmas.
If it's all three of those, it's none of those.
Sure
a
was
little bit of a letdown.
Oh, and it was also, if you remember, one of those basketball things. The only thing it was is one of those arcade basketball things with like the net to keep it back to you. They all were those as well.
The only thing it was a catch-all for like drying clothes.
True.
Yeah,
It was just a rickety table.
It was a rickety table.
That's
Why was it so rickety? It needed to hold all these 5 games, and the legs
thinnest
were
legs with like
wobble.
an IKEA, one of those just like
Wobbly
little
leg.
things you tighten. It's like that kind of shit. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Although at that middle house we did have a miniature air hockey table that never broke down. It lasted the whole time.
Ooh, what I
Still
liked
here.
about that,
I
it
still
was
have it.
it was literally a tabletop, so it was more with your fingers flicking than a full like wrist. and
True. It
arm
wasn't a
movement,
heavy
right?
puck because one of the problems with air hockey is slamming your fingers, is getting a real hard
Yeah.
hit on the puck.
I remember MTV Cribs in our generation when we were kids, like 15, 20 years ago. The air hockey table was like, man, that's just you don't want a real air hockey table in your house. Just make it a pool table.
Yeah, I would
Like,
prefer
how many air hockey games are you getting
pool's
into?
classier.
Who's the most memorable Cribs episode from your?
It was someone from
From your memory.
I have
Jackass.
two
I
full.
can't remember if it was I forget who it
Steve-O's
was.
was funny because it was so like bachelor patty.
Well, there was one
And
that was one of the
obviously-
Jackass guys. It might have been Ryan Dunn, but it was out of his car. He's like, "Well, I'm living in my car right now. I'm in between houses," and it was just like a quick trip around his car with all of his clothes and shit.
Oh my god!
I forget who. It might have been Party Boy. I can't forget who it was, but one of them was just living in the car.
I have two very memorable ones. One is a house, just for whatever reason, I quite enjoyed it, and the second one was kind of like the Jackass guy. Method Man like lived in the hood still, and it was like this shitty place, and he's like, I don't have to live in the hood. I want to live in the hood. And it's just this real shitty apartment, and it was really funny.
I don't
And
remember any of the shitty ones. I want to go back and.
I remember specifically that when he's like, I don't got to live here. I'd like to live here. And it was just like a rundown, like 2-bedroom apartment. And he's like, I got the Dreamcast here and I got the thing. And it was just wires all over with the big screen. It's fucking hilarious. He's like, this is where I keep the good cereal. And he had like Lucky Charms on the fridge.
His investment was the second dream.
Second Dreamcast was so close to being good, but was the worst.
I had a
I've got
game
Crazy
cube.
Crazy
Taxi,
Taxi.
I've got Simpsons. I've got Crazy Taxi.
That's it.
It was like, it was right before all those games could do anything except exactly what was in the title. Crazy Taxi was just driving.
I'll tell you what.
Just
Trying
driving.
to get from point A to point B. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it
we
was-
had the GameCube, and that was similarly disappointing in the fact that it could play PlayStation 2 quality games, just with the worst.
They just didn't have enough.
Well, just the worst controller in existence. It was just make believe
it
buttons and
felt the GameCube controller felt so good in your hands.
Good
but it was
controller.
like reading Braille for
Yeah.
the buttons were
it
odd.
was insane.
It was an odd button thing, but I rocked that GameCube for quite a while. Played a lot of games on that.
One of the better intros to a gaming console.
Ding. Yeah, the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo always has something fun for you.
Last crib I really liked, and I'm sure it stayed itself. Joey Fatone from NSYNC really liked his house. Lived in Florida. No way he still has his house. It was like 32,000
I don't know. He still
square
does
feet
a
at
lot
the
of
time.
hosting.
Yeah,
Mine's
but
chalk.
he
I just
doesn't.
remember the big shack, like cars.
Yeah,
and the big
for
shack
sure.
Bed, the Superman bed, like.
That one's great.
Oh, I'll tell you what
I
annoys
do.
the shit out of me,
Here's
though.
what I remember
Fatone.
for the Mashak one. He jumped off his waterfall at his pool, and I'm like, "There's no way that you have a 40-foot deep pool." I'm like, "You're about to break your knees, Shaq." And it looked like the deep end, but the deep end for you and me, but not for Shaquille O'Neal, 7'1", 600-pound Shaquille O'Neal. It looked like a shallow jump.
Have you guys seen the Chris Angel video where they
Love where this is going.
I think Cameron has.
You think? Yeah.
where they,
I've seen
where
it.
they levitate Shaq over
No.
his own house?
No.
It is stunning. He's just it's light as a feather. So it's just Shaq, and it's clearly fake. But he's
Give me a time frame of years. What's a 5-year window? Are we talking mid-2000s? Are we talking 2 years ago? When does this video exist from?
this exists from 02 to 05. I'm gonna give you a 3-year window.
Even better. That's great.
Back to cribs. Do you know what I really fucking hate though? Teen cribs. There was nothing more infuriating
that
to
was
me
the worst,
than
yeah.
those cocky kids bragging about what their parents were paying for. Oh,
Yeah.
God, that show was obnoxious. Yeah, this is my home theater. It's pretty cool. I guess all my friends love hanging out here or whatever. Oh, our pool? No big deal. So
Yeah, and they'd be like,
braggadocious.
I only got a Porsche, but like I'm gonna get a Bentley when I turn 17. It's like we're gonna.
Yeah, but who's your
murder you in
dad? Like,
sleep.
who's your parents? Let's talk to them.
Why would,
Well,
why
here's
would
the
they
thing.
let you? Why would
It
they
wasn't
let-
even. I feel like it wasn't even famous people. It's like my dad's a really good accountant in LA.
Yeah, it was all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I don't like that either.
It's almost worse.
Hot topic button right now. I see this on all the highlight nepo babies. What's your guys' feel on them?
Indifferent as long as
Can I
there's
ask what that means?
nepotism.
It means nepotism, meaning I have famous parents and now I get a head up because of them. So
Chet Hanks,
for
Emma
instance-
Roberts. Anyone.
Oh, who was the celebrity who was wearing that? That's kind of around Christmas, right? Was it like one of the Hadid girls or something? Sorry, yeah, she was like, I'm a nepo baby. Maybe it was
she is.
Justin Bieber's Haley Bieber. Yeah, I do remember seeing that.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Indifferent as long as there's talent there. Like,
Sure.
But I mean, if you are just like, making money, then yeah, you're annoying. You're a piece of shit. But I mean, what can you do?
I think it should be this. Accept that you are one. Don't say anything against it. But we can all agree that it's fine. You got a leg up. Your parents are such and such. But don't pretend that it isn't that. You know what I mean?
I don't. Yeah.
Talent can get you past that, but you skipped way to the fucking front of the line, right?
Especially if it's
and just shut the fuck up and take your
Especially
joke.
if it's just some sort of entrepreneurship, or like I have a makeup line and this and a blog. I'm like, well, yeah, because you had a platform.
How'd you get that makeup? Or just anything.
You had capital to start.
Yeah, you had something. Yeah, you had something for people.
Well,
to
they're just jumping the line as like, if you're an actress, like, well, how did you get an agent and a management group? Oh, your dad, Tom Hanks, gave it to you? Oh, I got you.
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't Tom Hanks
no
getting
Chet
in.
Hanks slander on this. No.
What was it, Tom Hanks?
No,
Tom Hanks
I
was getting
actually,
in
I'm going to
trouble-
take this
Time
the
out.
other way. I'm going to take this the other way. Chet Hanks is a travesty, right?
Sure.
He's the fucking worst. But what we're not doing is we got to blame Tom Hanks more.
We've said this on the
You
last
allowed this to
3
happen. You
podcasts.
just-
I'm not even saying Urban Hermits. Why do we keep bringing up Tom Hanks and how he needs to be blamed?
Because, listen, as America's
Chet is a
dad, you
problem.
failed your son. And you shouldn't have allowed that to happen. And it can't go unnoticed.
Hey,
That's
he
all
gave
I'm
us
saying.
Colin Hanks, and he's all right.
Well, I'm sure I said this on the
Colin's
other
fine.
ones. I think they got divorced and he was raised by his
Yeah,
mom.
you sure did. You said it on so many.
So I'm just saying, like, as much as Tom Hanks is America's dad, it turns out he wasn't Chet Hanks' dad, and now that's everybody's problem. It should have just been their problem, but it's society's problem now.
We're coming up on about 30 minutes. Do you guys want some news stories quick before we wrap this up?
Sure.
This one's terrifying. A sailor was found 24 days adrift at sea in the Caribbean. This is coming from Colombian Navy Rescue from Dominica. Says the guy survived 24 days on a boat drifting out at sea off of ketchup, garlic powder, and seasoning cubes. He says that he was like in a bay cleaning his boat, and it just washed out to sea. He had cell phone reception for a bit, and he was calling his friends and family trying to be like, "Hey, I need help," but then he lost reception, and there was nothing else he could do. So he was just stranded on a boat being taken out to sea.
There's just no.
I'm not making it.
Hold on.
Not
say
making it
the
5
se-
days.
Say the seasonings again.
He survived off ketchup, garlic powder, and seasoning cubes.
For how many? 24
days. Oh, it also says that he collected rainwater on like a piece of cloth on the boat for hydration, and he carved help onto the boat's hull, which is actually how people ended up finding him, as they saw the message from airplanes and stuff.
Oh.
Yep. But
Well, there you go.
24 days.
Can I ask a real question here? Whatever. So that you're just you're trying to survive and you're hoping for the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're eating what you have, and you're just accepting death. The real question is, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you jerk off sometime?
No, you need hydration. You need to save every drop.
Yeah, I understand the logic behind that, but you're also just doing nothing and trapped.
Maybe you shoot it like right back into your
Mouth?
Yeah, well,
Hey, I've heard that's
It's-
protein. That's
I
not
think that's some
that's not
sort
the
of maybe
route I
like-
was gonna go with it, but
it's
sure.
a loophole. Maybe it's just sort of like
I don't see that helping. I also feel like
Okay.
eating garlic
I'm
powder.
not saying it's the best idea, though. I'm just saying.
I also feel like eating garlic powder is not going to help with dehydration and stuff. Someone tells me.
or ketchup. There's vinegar in that. Like, and then what else was it? Sugar.
Flavoring cubes.
I don't know how much of any nutrition is. I suppose you get some sort of
A lot of
calories.
sodium and all this stuff, and yeah.
I'm
Great.
calling
That's-
bullshit. I like that. He's making a paste out of. Like,
I don't know. He was spotted 120 nautical miles from La Guaira. He was taken in by a container ship. He says he lost a little weight, but he wasn't in that bad a shape for 24 days.
So was he? This is my question because I have watched Naked and Afraid, and one of the ways to make it their 30 days is just
Lay
to
there
go in
and not do.
overweight and just let your body eat itself. It's like I made
No,
it.
he seemed like a fairly in shape guy. So like but I mean, like you can go a while, I guess, just without food, 24 days at least with just those packets.
What are the stats on how many times he jerked off?
Wasn't mentioned. Wasn't mentioned.
I'm just saying. I would
just to get off of that.
In 24 days, how many times?
I don't know, but in
Stranded
24
at
days for sure. Like I don't know.
Once a day.
I think
that's
if we're
20.
doing
Once a day for
he's
sure.
gonna die at day 10 from dehydration and just calorie loss.
Yeah, but you're going out on your terms.
Yeah, you don't. 23 rolls around. You don't want to be like, oh well, I guess I only did 22. Like,
Yeah.
you got to pull out another one.
Wouldn't it be funny to see your notches though in your bone? It's like, what's that 24 for? It's like I had to monitor.
It's
so I
actually
didn't
not
die.
days. That's wanks.
It's wanks.
That's wanks.
In the next news story, bringing Dodo back. Did you guys hear a few years ago of that company that's like, we're bringing back the woolly mammoth?
I did not, but I don't believe him. But sure.
Well, there was a company like 2 years ago that said we're gonna essentially they're Jurassic Parking.
What do you mean bringing
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
Like there's a choice.
They want to bring back the woolly
They're
mammoth.
recreating the woolly mammoth.
So the dodo bird isn't coming back anytime soon, nor is the woolly mammoth. But the company's working on technology to bring back the extinct species. What is it? It's Colossal Biosciences. That's the company that's doing all this Jurassic Park bullshit. But this is the first animal that was made extinct by human. Well, on record, made extinct by human contributing. So that is why they kind of want to start focusing on this one too. But it does seem like we are years off from any of this happening. But with the announcement of the dodo, they did raise an additional $150 million of funding, and they have like another $225 million coming in from the latest announcement.
Best case scenario, that's a Ponzi scheme. That's what I'm hoping for. But all I hear from this is suck it, polar bears. We don't give a shit about you.
We'll keep it.
Like take some of that money and try to save the polar bears. They're at least still around.
Well, what do we do with this woolly mammoth? Does it just go to a zoo? Like, are we going
it's
to
a
re-release
zoo.
it?
It's for sure a zoo.
And that's like the worst Jurassic Park. It's like we just have these. Yeah.
I will say this though, if there was a woolly mammoth
I'd see it
at one zoo in Chicago and there was a woolly mammoth not at the other zoo,
Lines out the door.
you go into the woolly mammoth zoo and that's all there is to it.
Going to the woolly mammoth.
That's true, but
If you're going to go to anything, you got to see
but I'm
it.
still going. To
I don't believe in the science, and I think it's a travesty against humanity. But
I'm still going to go to
look at that woolly mammoth.
I'm still going to Woolly Mammoth World to being like, they didn't make one ride in this amusement park. My God, it's just a bunch of woolly mammoths.
Oh shit! It's sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, the woolly mammoth is
Oh
sleeping
nope,
now.
it's dead.
That's how
Turns
they
out you
fucking
can't
get
keep it in San Diego. It's a woolly mammoth. My last news story. Japan firm opens up whale meat vending machines to help push sales. So a Japanese operator has been struggling for years promoting its products just because of conservationists, obviously in protest against
A whale meat.
whaling. Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, Beluga boys.
So this store,
I didn't know where it was going, but I accepted
the
that.
store, which is an unmanned outlet, recently opened up a couple different vending machines that have whale steak, whale bacon, whale skin, canned whale meats. And apparently they're actually seeing a huge turn of profit from people using the vending machine versus buying it just like traditional routes. So apparently this
Couldn't imagine.
There's no judgment. There's no human interaction
guess.
when it comes to
Apparent-
vending. I don't want to buy any meat from a vending machine.
But there is a little bit of this. You put your whatever $20 in and like.
Mark's looking around.
Yeah. Anytime
You're
I
not
do
proud of what you're buying.
Anytime I do self checkout, I do this for fun. If I'm fiddling around like with the payment, and then I'll look up to the camera and like look down like I'm definitely guilty. I do that all the time for my own fun.
I've done that before, just going in the security cameras, like when you first go in the doors of places. Yeah, I'll look by it and shuffle by quickly or something. It's fun. It's just good
I
fun.
do that all the time.
Yeah, so unfortunately,
they're-
it sounds like these vending machines are increasing the whaling industry again, and it's helping bring it back in Japan. So bummer.
Bummer.
Well, on that note, should we wrap up this podcast, gents?
Sure.
Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Hermit Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you follow the whole Majestic Jam Network, Cold Classics Podcast, Urban Hermit, I'm Not Crazy, the Highwire Podcast. Like and subscribe on all your favorite podcast apps. Make sure you to follow us on social media, Urban Hermit Pod. And until then, we'll check on the next one. Bye.